our eyes at Parliament together with Ngina. Ngina, if you can hear me, what is it looking like over there in Parliament? What are Kenyans saying? How is it?
Thank you so much. And we're here after the culmination of the day that has been the anniversary of June 25th, 2024. And it's almost as if the Saba Day is almost being recreated before our very eyes, as June 25th continues to hold so much more significance as each year goes by. And this year was not exempt from that. And earlier today, we did see scenes where families were actually leading the protests, the march here to Parliament grounds in order to at least be able to lay flowers down over the spots where they lost their loved ones. And that was actually the peak of the day. And since then, a lot of activity has since simmered down. And what we're seeing now is still a lot of heavy police presence. In fact, I will take you back to when earlier in the day, DIG Gilbert Masengeli had actually answered some of the questions around why exactly the police said that today was a working day, only to then restrict movement. And he said that they were actually searching people to make sure nobody was armed. However, most critics have also come out and said, and members of the public have come out and said that that answer is not really satisfactory to them. And there's a lot to say about this day, including the businesses that have been shut throughout a lot of the areas that we've seen within the central business district, as well as little to no movement. We've seen people who actually did try to access the CBD were actually rerouted. A lot of taxi businesses that were trying to operate within the CBD but were not able to. And today has basically seen a shutdown in a lot of that sort of activity around businesses, around movement, around people being able to come in. We were also earlier at the Central Police Station, where a group of protesters had actually gone there to actually see or find the status out about other protesters who had been arrested here at Parliament, only for that to end in tear gas. And those protesters were actually dispersed. Some members of the media did remain behind after that, but police officers also tear-gassed members of the media and of the press during that time. And that is basically what we've seen in the sum that is today. And we will continue to at least update our audience members in our later bulletins, that's at 7 and 9 p.m., as well as on our digital platforms, to be able to update more on what the culmination of the day has been.
Thank you very much, Ngina Kirori, our senior reporter, who has been actually on that beat from morning, where she began the day with the coverage of the opposition leaders alongside the bereaved and affected families, we call them that, as well as some of the civil society actors, where they began at Serena Hotel, and then they had their march to Parliament, where there was some heavy police contingent with them, and they were allowed to then lay the wreaths, which they did on the barbed wire that had been put there to just restrict any kind of entry or breach of Parliament. I guess it's once bitten, twice shy.
It is.
Yeah, so we shall, like she said, we shall be getting more updates from different parts, the different parts of the country, just to get a sense of what the day looks like. But so far, we've not seen extreme cases of violence or any excesses that we have to report at the moment. But in case there's any, we shall bring you up to speed on the same. We've seen some activity in Githurai. We saw there was something in Makueni. Not too many places were having unrest. And interestingly, we had the people of Kisumu, specifically at Kondele, which historically has been known to be quite a hotspot in regards to protest. And they were calm. They were actually having voter registration going on. What are your thoughts on that first?
I think it's critical. It's important. It's good. Different methods and faculties of organizing. But today's a day of remembrance. Today is literally commemorating all the heroes that we have lost in the streets, marching for our rights, marching for the truthful administration of this country. It's good for us to register as voters, but let's keep it consensual to June 25th. I think both things can happen, but it's quite a very sad and heavy day too, to allow families to just come together and grieve their loved ones.
Okay.